All right, everybody. Welcome back to working on the prologue and working on the new expression. As you can see, right here, this is how far I'm at with the coloring, and then we only need a couple of more colors, and then it's all done. But before that, I actually want to let you hear something funny that I came across when I was working on this. So this right here is a new soundtrack that I'm working on for the visual novel itself. It's kind of a boss battle music, but it's not yet fully finished. So sorry about that, but it will only take like what 31 minutes, probably, right? Yeah. So no further ado, let's get started. So as you can see, it's a pretty neat, it's a pretty neat soundtrack that I'm currently working on. It's not yet fully finished. There are some couple of things that I still need to do and work around with, but I'm getting the hang of this. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys before we started because, well, it's good to show progress. So therefore, it's important. Now, let's see. There's my mouse. Now, as you can see, I've been working on getting the shading done for the cloak, and then today I will start doing the coloring in of the other colors, and then move our way towards the face and the hair, and then probably also do the shading afterwards. So that's what we're gonna be doing for today. I hope you'll have enjoyed the little soundtrack that I'm working on, because I did. It was actually uh, quite nice to hear. Oh, jeez. I hate that. I hate it when that happens. Oh, jeez, Louise. What just happened was actually that I had my head a little bit spinning. Oh well. Oh, hello, Blue. Hello. Nice to see you around. So as you can see, I'm gonna just pick up the colors that we have here and then, use those in the drawing again, because that's how it works. So we're gonna be doing first, I believe we're gonna do first this one. That's the easy one, right? Yeah, that's the easy one. So zooming in a bit, because that's how it works. And then make it full screen, and then size 8 pixels. That will fix all of it. Alright. So yeah. It's gonna be just me coloring things in, and then, working on a bit of the shading and here and there. And after that, we will probably call it a day. So that's gonna be it for today, and I am actually quite excited. Today I actually made some successful chili sauce. The only problem was that with it was that I forgot to use the sugar in it. So it was more of a blend than a sauce technically, because of how there is no caramel. How do you say that? When you have a liquid, it normally shows that it's a liquid, but because it could not blend, it was uh, just red chili pepper, but put into pieces. So it was not the best, but it was good. It was good enough for dipping. So therefore, it's decent, and it qualifies for what I needed to do. Alright, now we're gonna do the old-fashioned thing of doing these big chunky boys, and that is one of them. And then tomorrow I will probably do another stream. Probably I will do a stream. It's gonna be a different stream than before. I got an old game up and working again, so I'm very happy to show you guys that one because it's a very funny game. Honestly, it's very silly jokes, but it's good. It's good. It's technically made for kids, and it's definitely shown. So it's very funny to play. It's a sort of Zudekun, but in 3D. But it's from 2006 or 2002. Let me double check. I have it here on the front page anyway. It's from 2002, so it's from the 2000 era of Windows XP. Ooh. So yeah, could you imagine that? You know, already having 3D graphics at 2000 at 2000. Whoa, that was wild back then. Only the high publishing would be qualified for it, and now it's like, oh, you have this, and everybody would be like, yes, I do, and then, oh, dear God. So yeah, that's always great. And then tomorrow I will try to play a game of it. Probably gonna try to make a very successful game with the goal of making everybody happy. Although that's a very challenging thing to do, but it's a fun challenge nonetheless. Probably I'm gonna be doing it with how do you say that? With oh, what the hell? Why? I did not switch. It's always very problematic when the most the pen is actually causing this, because I'm not pressing anything. It's just that the pen is like, hey, you were trying to press this button. Allow me to press it for you. And I'm like, no, I do not want to have this shortcut. Thank you. All right. Nice. All right. Now we're gonna move this one around. You can already see that, yeah, I'm not yet fully done with the coloring here, but it should be fine once I add more to it. Then we're gonna move this one up. All right. And that should fix it, right? Yeah, it should fix it. Do I need to put another color in here? Probably not. But let me double check here. No, I don't. Nice. Sweet. That saves a lot of problems. Alright, next one. Next one is just a casual color of white as the clothing decides. So I'm gonna do that. So the whole point of this is that we're gonna be aiming to get everything colored in, and then once the colors are all in, I just only have to do the shading, and that is most likely gonna be the last of our concerns in most cases. I don't know if my voice is on the right volume, but oh well. I will figure that out later. Probably gonna be raising it up a bit, just just a bit higher, just to get the voice a little bit more out of there. Also, apparently I did something wrong here, didn't I? Oh yes, I have not yet drawn in here. Got it. Thanks. Thanks for the heads up there. Me? No problem. I almost forgot that I have not yet colored in the face and all that stuff, so all that jam is not yet there. Therefore, a lot of the background is still aching with everything. I really like how the wizard is turning out to be. It's always great. And once the first boss battle music is fully done, I can then, redesign the rhino, the crystal rhino, for the first scene. But of course, that will come later. First, I need to make sure that that thing is the volume sound is good to me. Sweet. Thanks, Blue. So yeah, once I have the once this one is done, we need to get the second scene up and running. So the balcony scene where he just looks at the sun and be like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day out there. It's a real shame you cannot enjoy it." And then laughs at those fools that got turned into stone because well the wizard is a very very not good kind of guy. He's a bad guy. Well, the bad guy is also a bad guy, but he's also a bad guy because he doesn't care. His way of reacting to certain scenes indicates that his ego is the main thing that drives him, and that is why he's technically considered a bad guy because of the way of how he does things. But of course, later on in the story, I will try to make sure that he gets redeemed by, being the advisory type of person. But of course, you're not supposed to take this guy as it is advice because, well, he normally thinks only about himself. So therefore, it's a very smart move to not fully do whatever he says so that, you always come ahead. So it's a little bit of a tricky person to understand, but also a very tricky person to uh, keep keeping the good advice, like, oh yeah, I have good advice for you. Well, this will profit me more than you do, but hey, it is advice nonetheless. And of course, his egotistic behavior changes because of the amount of stuff that he has to deal with. He has to negotiate with people, and therefore, you need to make sure that if you have a negotiation with a person, you also need to make sure that you're not the one that, or you always need to make sure that you always keep in consideration of the person that you're negotiating with. And of course, the negotiations are not always will go the same way as you planned them to be. And of course, that's the main tragedy of the wizard. He went from a very strong person towards technically just an advisor. And of course, it frustrates him. And it definitely that is shown in the text. Like he doesn't like to be the one that just gives advice and then sees the whole world turn around him. But eventually, he accepts it and be like, all right, if I can just change the world by giving advice, fine, I will do that. But don't expect too much of me because, well, if I had powers, I would have been in a far better position. And that's the thing that I want to have this wizard to be. He's a very good and talkative person. The only downside of him is that he is not a very uh, uh I see. I made here a mistake. Yeah. Got it. I made a mistake, and I'm gonna be fixing that later. Not now. I need to make sure first I get this one done. There we go. So yeah, the wizard is eventually gonna be redeemed, but he's still the same old wizard. He is just a guy who really, really, really likes, to mess around with people if they annoy him. Being that casual person that likes to trip a person if he doesn't like him, like that kind of thing. Like, I don't like you, you don't like me. Well, I will throw you off a cliff if I can. But of course, he needs to make sure that he doesn't do that with people that are close to him because, well, that won't get him any further because he's in this conundrum where he's stuck, and well, and to get himself freed, he needs to rest, and therefore he has to cooperate. Of course, cooperation requires effort, and that is indeed where he lacks, and he needs to learn that. And that's a very lovely thing, you know. You have a mentor that knows how to do magic, but is not very good at social conversations, and then eventually, you know, gets to know how to do it. That makes it far more better, you know. Like, I understand your problem, so don't try to be mad about at me, but try to be mad at the person that you had the problem. Don't try to be mad. Just, you know, try to find another way out. And eventually, you know, that is, I think, how I'm gonna make the wizard likable towards the audience, just by making him less of an ass the longer the story goes on. And of course, you know, the wizard is not every single time in every single scene. That also helps a lot. He's just there at some portions of the scenes, giving advice to one person because, well, you know, he's technically only advisor towards one person, and he can technically only communicate mentally with the person, and that is not a very powerful position technically. It's like, oh, here's some good advice, here's some bad advice. Allow me to give you some good advice. Try to run or try to dodge this projectile because, well, you know, if you get hit, it hurts. Oh, thanks, Mr. Obvious. I didn't notice that. uh, but of course, he will try to give helpful advice when you try to use magic and then, you know, sees the magic coming from the enemy and it's like, ah, he's using that kind of skill. All right. Have you tried, you know, keeping your feet off the ground so that the electricity won't be able to reach you? Ah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, because conviction and all that stuff. He knows about magic. He doesn't know a lot about, you know, the societies because, well, you know, towers and all. All right. All right. Now I need to get this thing up and running. How do I do this thing? Because clearly I clearly forgot to put a line here. I forgot to put a line here to create this so-called this line right there. I forgot to put that line there. So it's either gonna be putting a line like so, which then creates that. That will work. That would work. All right. Now I need to make sure that I have that right. So it's light line. All right, good. Good. All right, so first things first, we need to have this normal dark line around it. And then we're gonna move onwards towards the other part. And then these kind of streams are always great. It always keeps me on edge, making sure that, you know, I'm working towards the project I need to do. And it gives me good advice and bad advice, yes, but it also gives me very, very good insight upon how far, where I am, and what the current goals are towards, you know, the final result. Of course, you know, we're doing it in baby steps. We're working towards this goal, and of course, you know, every goal has to every run towards it is not always the same. And this is what I like about this, you know, working on the prelog, getting the prelog done, and then eventually, you know, we can move to the first chapter, and then I need to do a lot of writing again. I kind of have that the opposite of that. He's very charming, good with people, and often takes advice. But he is a bad guy for most people, taking his advice to that turns out poorly. I see. So I kind of have that. That's the opposite of that. Oh, yeah, probably. Like, you know, you give advice, but it turns out poorly. That would also be a thing, you know. That, you know, magic is very complicated, and therefore, you know, if you blame the person that teaches you the magic, then, well, because it backfired and you turned somehow you turned some people into pigs, then well, you know, you have only one person to blame, and that's your teacher apparently. And then, you know, technically the teacher didn't do anything wrong. the main problem towards this hatred towards the Prelog castle is that his whole research of all his progress of getting immortality. That's what every wizard wants. Immortality, forever being able to study. And then some great demon lord comes in and wrecks your place. Of course you're gonna be mad. Of course you're gonna be very, very pissed off. And so the only way how he can express that is by turning the whole turning, like in such fairy tales, turn the whole turn all the people there into stone. And I think that is a very fitting way of how telling a kind of fairy story, a fairy tale story. Like, you did all of this, and now you regret your decision? Nah, I didn't regret my decision at all. I just really, really, really hated these people, and I turned them into stone because they don't deserve my presence anymore. I just gonna be going in there, mock them, and say, "Moo ha ha ha! Take that! That's for ruining my research. Next time, try to be more smarter about it." And then they don't have a second chance because, well, he didn't give a second chance. And of course, this upsets the balance of the world. And he ignored, of course, he of course ignored the cleric and saying like, "Oh, you should not have done that. You should not turn everybody to stone. The hero needs to save the world, not you. If you do that, the gods will be, the god will be very pissed off with you." And then he would be like, "So, I never have seen a god before, so I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm not gonna take your advice. They ruined my research. How dare they?" And yeah, and that's his whole revenge. And then technically you have this little, how do you say that? Um, it tells the very easy way of telling person like, all right, if you do a bad thing, you can get something bad in return. If you only are driven by revenge, of course you're gonna be how do you say that, drowned in it. Eventually you're gonna lose yourself, and of course that's what happened. He gets his ass whooped. And eventually he dies, and that's what happens in the prologue. He dies. Of course he doesn't die. I'm doing this on the wrong layer. Oh no. I did this on the wrong layer. I am such a dum-dum. Alright, fine. I will do this on this layer, but then I will definitely switch out. Alright, I can still fix this. There is nothing yet wrong. Okay. Now I can do it on the right layer, and now I won't be screwed over. Alright. Whew. Ooh. I almost made a mistake by being distracted again, because I did something on the other layer and forgot to switch. Note to self, always remember to make sure you switch back. That's always a thing that happens to me. It's like, I did this on the wrong layer. Now technically my whole how do you say that? My whole organization of how to do this precisely is ruined. As a person that really doesn't like those things happening, it's very annoying. But of course, you need to improvise, adapt, and overcome, because it can happen sometimes. And then you need to be like, oh, all right, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, and you can move on. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm moving on. I know that the problem is there, and it's technically not a big deal. If it was a big deal, I would have said so. Sadly, it's not. So therefore, oh well. Luckily, it's not. Not sadly. Why would I say sadly towards a problem? It's like, sadly, I did got an A for my exam. It's like, what? How is that? How is that a bad thing? Okay. Jeez. Mind, please stop being so distracted. So distracted with talking when trying to get get the point across. But yeah. I have been I have been working on the boss fight music, which is nice. I came to it. I came to the inspiration today after cleaning up my room, and yeah, it is actually. Yeah, I'm actually excited to get that fully done. Of course, first things first. I'm gonna be first drawing this one, finishing this one up, and then move on to the next part. And that's what you always need to do. You need to always make sure that you first finish one thing and then go forward. Because if you don't finish it, then, well, you technically can just, toss it away and then never look back at it, which is a very bad thing because then you lose all the progress you did. Because if you look at something after you finish it, you can see the final result of it, and the final result is always very important because it makes you learn a lot more than just, working on it. Even though the drawing might be very bad, or your the exactly thing that you wanted from it didn't come from it, then, well, you can look at it and be like, all right, I did it, I pushed through, and I got this far. All right, what do I now need to get from point A to point B? And that most likely will end up in success if you just follow the simple guidelines of, your own drawing. Follow the guidelines of what did you do, how did you do it, and what can be better. And then, repeat until you get until you get a good result. And then, look at why do you get a good result? What happened that you made a good result? And that's also a very important part. Ah, man, oh man. Wow. So much coloring to do. So much time. And I must say though, I'm very happy upon how far we are already at this. And then, once this is all done, I will celebrate again. I will definitely buy myself some pie or something like that. Something stupid. Because it's important to celebrate your victories. And you also need to make sure, and you need to learn from your mistakes. That's also a very important rule, but it's also important to celebrate. Because if you don't celebrate, your motivation goes low, and then, boom, suddenly you don't have motivation. That is a very, very nasty thing to happen. Like, where's my motivation? Do I need to get it? It needs to go naturally. And then, you don't get it, and then it's like, yeah, I forgot to celebrate myself. I forgot to celebrate. Oh, man. I'm so happy that how this is already turning out. The more I look at this, the better it gets, and the more I look at the drawing, and the more I can see coming out from it. The main problem that I have right now is that my head is such not in a good mood. Because of a lot of things that went on today, I think. Yeah. And it did make me tired, but I'm gonna be pushing through now. That's important, keeping pushing. Because, if your head is very, very causing a lot of, how do you say, energy loss, it's always it's always a attack on the time. But of course, it's coloring, so it should not matter too much. If it was designing, I would have definitely be like, yep, it's enough for today. I already did like what, 3 hours of work. It's better for me to just call it quits for today and then end it here. But that's knowing the limits. It's a very important thing. Know the limits, know when to quit, know when to go, and then continue forward. But yeah, I'm very happy upon this. I can see what I'm doing, and that's very important. Also, I can see the time. It's like, it's already 30 minutes in. Ooh, spooky. Yeah, that's exactly how spooky goes. Because 30 minutes means already that we're almost at the half our way of, how much I can draw today. Technically, I drew most of it yesterday, and today I have been, way too much busy. But yeah, I did do some of it, I believe. Some. Yeah, I did. I did some editing on the on the clothing. That's what I did. Yeah, I forgot about that thing. Alright, now that we have done that, we can now get this color right here and draw in the lovely little sun circles. Because that's also important. Keep on drawing. Keep on getting there and, moving forward. Because the more we get done, the better it is for me for tomorrow, that I don't have to do a lot. Because if I only have to do, the face, then it's a little bit less of a stretch mark, definitely. But of course I want to do this the right way, so I do want to make sure that I'm not screwing up. That's a horrible thing to happen. And yeah, I'm just taking my time, focusing on what is important, and then, move onwards from there. There we go. I do like that, the visitor screen. It's very suitable. Because, well, he dies, he leaves off a green crystal, and that, indicates like, alright, so the wizard is green, the crystal is green, therefore, we have green. And, yeah, it's a very smart move of how to do things. Also, it's very fun to know what happened afterwards. It's like, alright, I have a green crystal. What does the green crystal do? Well, it technically has the wizard in it, so technically it should summon the wizard, but it doesn't. Huh? And then, you have literally just the wizard without powers, and then the wizard without powers is technically the one that, well, he has powers, but the powers are such a backdraw, it's not even funny. It's like, yeah, I can do magic. I will cast a spell, and I'm tired. Because, well, magic, a person with low magic is not a very good, is not a very strong, is a very, it's like, you cast a very powerful spell while you're a very terrible caster. It's like, I will cast this powerful spell, but I don't have the mana to do it. Oh boy. I will use my stamina instead. Yeah, he comes to the realization that that is literally the problem at hand. He can cast spells, but the main problem is that he doesn't have the mana to do it, because he is not he has no efficient catalyst to do so, because the body is not responding towards the magic that he is using. So he has to improvise. He's like, all right, I can save you guys with one spell, but you have to carry me around until I wake up. Of course, when he wakes up, it's no longer the wizard. That is the whole point. That's the whole joke. It's like, yes, you have literally two people in one. That's a very confusing thing. Yes, indeed. But it's a very fun thing. A very fun concept. It's like, yeah, you have two people of the same coin. One knows magic, one doesn't. One uses magic, both use magic. One knows magic, the other one doesn't. Therefore, the one that knows magic but cannot cast efficiently or well enough, cannot cast the magic good enough, is teaching the person that can cast magic but doesn't know how to do magic most of the time. And that creates that creates like a mentor bondship. Like, all right, he wants to see how capable the other person is in casting the spells. Therefore, he tries to come up with lots of a lot of ways of trying to get towards that point. And I'm very happy upon that he accepts this role. That's at least, the thing, like, all right, I'm stuck with this person that can cast magic. Well, I can't. Well, I'm definitely jealous of it. But I will teach this person to cast magic properly, therefore, technically being my successor. And that is a very nice, touchy moment. And because he, puts a lot of effort in it, he also, he also very, very, very is very protective of the person. Because, well, if you have a student and the student is all you got and all you have, wouldn't you be very protective towards this person when danger comes, or be like, well, your student just went down. Are you not gonna help and try to protect the person? And then the wizard is like, yeah, I really should, and so the wizard will, and that's the fun part. That's the fun part. Also, this also causes the wizard to do the thing. Oh no, I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, it's just how do you say that? When I have these things, these little how do you say that? Tired moments. It's just a very draining. It's like when you watch a movie and then you fall asleep halfway because you lack the energy to do so. Because every single time you try to watch, it's like, I don't feel so good, and then you're falling out. And the thing is that I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to get better at losing less energy, which of course I'm trying to do pretty much all the time. And I'm also doing it by going to conventions and teaching my brain to be like, hey, this is a stressful place. You better go watch and see what's going on. It's very important. And therefore, my mind is getting trained to deal with the tiny little. You say that's short circuiting? Yeah, probably. Dealing with it more efficiently and training it to be less of an impact. Therefore, losing less energy. Therefore, being able to perform. Jeez, that's the second one. And then continuing to and then continuing to work on it, and that's of course one thing that I can only deal with, and that's the only thing that I need to work around. And yeah, this is also why I cannot work on. That's why I'm also not not working very effectively in a stressful place. This is why I prefer peace and harmony. Just because I do really, really, really do not like environments that are really testing my limits. It's it's a very painful thing to have. That very painful thing to happen. If I if I if I if I only if I only have this like once a week, yeah, that would be doable. But no, I have it every day. So therefore, it's a little bit more of an hassle. But oh well. Alright, now I need to get that stupid jawline up and running, but first saving, because otherwise I might crash and then I'm losing all the progress, which I don't want to happen. Let me take a look. It is already 39 minutes in, sweet, so only 10 minutes left. Alright, I think we can do it. It's not more, it's not long, I'm doing it on the right layer. Good. I was almost second questioning myself. I was like, am I doing it on the right layer? And I'm like, yep. Good. Don't want to have it happen again. Jeez, that's the horrible way. Alright, now we have this. Ah, look at that. The jawline is drawn, and then the second jawline will also be drawn soon. And as you can see, there are some little bits here and there that I want to draw, like here, for instance. And I want it to be drawn until here. And I'm going to be drawing the darker bit right after that. And then, ooh, wait. I'm doing this way too big, right? Not really, but it's a bit tricky. Come on, do it right? Yeah, there we go. And I hope everybody is enjoying this. It's just, coloring things in, and oh my god, I did so well. Oh well. Luckily, I can just, you know, edit that out. Like, boom, boom, boom. There you go. All right. Is it both? Yeah, it is both the same color. Ah, interesting. So I did not use a shade on that. Nice. Now we need to draw that. So we're gonna pick up that and we're gonna draw that. That's the first. That is the first line, I believe, and then the second line is already the different line. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I need to do that one. Of course, this is gonna be having two lines, as you can see, and then, you know, move onwards. So I'm now using the glow to predict where the glow to see where I need to draw. Alright, and then we're gonna pick up the darker color, and then we're gonna pick up the lighter color if necessary. Are we needing that? Yeah, probably I do. Yeah. I need to lower the size again to 8, I believe, and then I can, you know, start. Oh, well, 9 can also be working. It's just coloring anyway. Yeah, gotta build up that stamina to avoid burnout. Yeah, indeed. Well, it's not technically a burnout, it's more of an energy loss. Not really a burnout. In a burnout, you cannot, you know, function. But this is just, you know, like, ah, I'm going 20 miles per hour, but I don't have any fuel anymore. Oh boy! And then, you know, suddenly you have a solar panel on your car, and then that thing starts running again. Like, ah, there it is. So yeah, it's not technically a burnout, if I may say so myself. There we go. And then we need to draw the other line, right? Yeah. Come on. And then that way. Then that way. And then we're almost done, I believe. So now I have this. And no, this needs to be a little bit longer. Seems like, yeah, it needs to be a little bit longer, like right over there. And then it needs to have that glow on the top. So I'm going to be drawing that as well. The glow on the top is going to be right over there. Just like that. Yes. Amazing. Alright. And then that is that. Bah. No. No. This color. Yes. Alright, so that is the one. And then that is gonna be like this. There you go. Now we have done that, and now we can move on to the next one. This one is a little bit easier. It's just, you know, this color, and then, you know, multiple colors onto it. So it's a little bit easier, this one. It's just, you know, this, and then dark color in the middle. All right. I'm very happy that I'm getting where I need to be. So I'm very happy upon the result I'm already booking here. And we're gonna need the darker color, and then we need to have the lighter color. First, the darker color, because we can then, you know, copy paste it. And now we need the lighter color. And this is, I'm just doing it on the transparency version so that I can draw over it. And that saves a lot of time and effort. All right, now we are almost there. Now we can see what we need to see. All right, now we need to get this up and running. That is the, yeah, that is these things. Wait, did I do it the right way? It's the dark color and then the light color. Yeah, it's dark color, light color, dark color, light color, and then the light color is on that. Bloody blue. Yes, it's two strokes. Good. I'm gonna be saving it just in case. And as you can see, a lot of the lines is already drawn, and I will zoom out soon, and then you can see the final result of it as well. I'm very fond of this already. Looks so good. And you can already see where the shading is gonna be for the hand as well, which is nice. Now we're gonna grab that, and then that would be it, right? Yes, and then we only need to have those things left. All right, good. I'm gonna go a little bit further with this, just a bit on these things, yeah. And then here we can also do some bits here and there. There you go. Nice. Hmm. Do I want that? That's the question. Hold on. I need to double check something here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hold on. I need to double check something here. I have a suspicion here. Yes, I knew it. All right. No, I'm not allowed to do this. I am not allowed to do this. It very, very sores me, but no, I'm not allowed to do this. No. Oh well. I cannot allow this. Otherwise the drawing will be very weird. That is not a very good idea. Alright. We have this, we have that, we have this, and now we can add in the other color right here again. We can technically do this and then, move on from the light to the dark. That would be also fine. This is one, this is one, this is one. And then the rest is all normal. Nice. Except that part. And then the rest is all normal size. Nice. There we go. That one actually has almost the same idea, right? Yeah, it only has darker and less dark. Sweet. Nice. And now I can move on to the next. And then that should be it. Hey. Now we only need to have that one, the dark bit right there, and then that should fix the other part, which is this bit right there. And then the other one is light drawn, colored. Easy. Easy, alright. Now the only thing is that we need to do is that. Yes. That is always dark. Alright, that's always dark. Good to know, good to know. That's always dark, regardless of the things. Good. Good, 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 good. Well, it has some light or dark in it, but it's always dark there. It's a very important detail that I'm not supposed to be making sure that I don't forget. Because if I do it now, then add a little bit of a light or dark towards it, I can then, yes, I know that I can do the thing, but the most important part here is that I'm doing the way of how it's supposed to be. Alright. Then we have everything, right? Then those things are nothing, right? Yeah, those things are nothing. Or did I just forget coloring them in? No, I did not. Huh. Huh. I probably did. I probably did. I probably didn't. No. They do have a color though. They have the dark green. Yes, they have the dark green. They don't respond to anything. They have the dark green regardless. Alright. I think I will leave it here. And as you can see, the expression is totally different than the other one. Which is good. You know, you have the judging guy. You have the sinister look. And then, you know, you have the just, you know, laughing. Of course, you know, probably would not have used the eyes, but yeah. Let me see. Double check, double check, double check. That's a very important part. Yes. I almost forgot. Almost forgot. Very important. Making sure that that is a thing that happens. That is the darker color. Yes, I'm doing this on the right drawing. Yeah. Just like that. And then making sure that I have this up and running properly. There you go. Then need to do it also on this side. Luckily for me, it's all fine. There you go. Now I have all the things that I need to do properly, right? Yes. And now there is no point here. Well, there is a point here to do this though. There's a point here to do this. Because it needs to be... oh. Remove. Is it important to do it like that? Probably. Yes. I know now what I need to do. Yeah. Almost made a mistake there. Almost. 1. 2. Alright. Nice. Now I have everything properly fixed. Maybe I should not put that one there. That one doesn't make sense. Neither does this one. That one needs to be later. Yes. Alright, so now it is much more natural. Nice. So we only have done now the base colors of the cloth. And now we need to do the face and the hand, and then we are all done. But thanks. Yeah, I really like it as well. It's it's looking good. So I hope you all have enjoyed for today. And thanks all for watching. Sadly, I have to do. Sadly, I have to quit now because I always have 1 hour limit on these things because, well, preventing me from overdoing things. Today I already have been working quite long on it. So I hope you all have enjoyed for today, and thanks all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Until then, I want to wish you all a lovely day, and bye!